What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Yes, You Guessed It. Let's take a walk. Tonight we have a influencer, a fashionista, entrepreneur, a regular woman of the people. She's involved in so many things, fashion and business, community advocacy. I mean, you name it, she does it. Um, but I don't want to steal her thunder. This is Miss Tamiko Alston. I hope I said her name correctly. For those of you who may not be familiar with her movement, I'm going to give her a moment to kind of reintroduce herself and just give a little background of who she is and some of the things that she has going on. So, with that being said, Miss Austin, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tamiko Alston. I am the previous, well, current still owner of Ava J's Curvy Boutique that I am closing out, but I still do a lot of fashion. I'm a 54 plus woman that has been an entrepreneur. I've owned multiple different businesses. I currently am becoming a content creator at 54 years old because I really love making us curvy plus size women feel good. And since I'm no longer going to have a boutique, I've been moving into the movement of Mika Bell's life and style. My name Mika Bell was given to me by my family because, as you can hear, it comes from my name Tamiko. But I currently am transforming from Ava J's over to Mika Bell's. But my mission is to continue to encourage plus size curvy women and all women to make them feel good about themselves and to love themselves first. I do multiple other things, community service work and all that in the community, and have been doing that for years. One of my passions also, besides fashion and encouragement, is making our returning citizens feel welcome back into the community, getting them registered to vote, getting their rights back, and all of those things like that. So that is what we're here to talk about today. Some of the things I've been involved in here lately.
That is awesome. You do so much. Let's start from the beginning. Like, what made you? Let's start with the fashion aspect. What made you even get into this arena, and more specifically, um, more full figure women and that whole thing. Like, what made you, even
Um,
start going into that?
I really had no choice because predominantly all my life I've been a full figure curvy woman, a young lady, all through the years, but I always made myself look and feel good because I do believe if you look and feel good, it carries over into your demeanor, your day, and it makes it a much better place for you. Um, I decided to do the boutique because one, I do love fashion. Two, people are always asking me, Tamiko, where do you shop? So I was like, I'm gonna let you shop with me, show you how I style and how I do things from shapewears to bathing suits, to even lingerie I've helped some people in. Formal wear, all of it. So that's what made me go into the boutique industry. When COVID hit, finances hit, so I had to close my brick and mortar, and I turned my living room into an actual boutique and brought people into my home as they contacted me, people I trusted. I started the website, and I still have a website. I just don't use it that often, but I did the website up until now, and hopefully by December of this year, I will be shutting that website down and just moving over to different things I could get. I even thought about writing an ebook to give some women, a little bit of encouraging words as well as encouraging tips on how to look and carry yourself and to make yourself look presentable.
Wow. I know that the obvious reasons for why you wanted to start the boutique and everything, but what if you could name one thing, like what has your accomplishment in building these brands, what has it done for you as a person? Like, if you could name one thing, like what's something that you that you learned about yourself that maybe you didn't know before you started doing
I've learned many things about myself, about how I communicate with people, being a customer service person, because I still believe in old school that the customer is always right to a certain extent, I will say, because times have changed.
it?
But it has helped me also learn that some people just need a little encouragement. You know, there's a lot of plus size women that don't love themselves, and that hurts my heart because we all should love ourselves no matter what we look like. I don't care what your size is. I mean, I've been up to like almost 350 pounds, so I know what that life is like. I know when your knees are hurting or when you don't like your arms. But you see, I still wear my arms out. I don't like my arms either, but but you have to love you. And that's what I try
Right.
to tell them. The more you love you, the more the confidence will portray off of you. And then you won't worry about what other people are saying or doing. Love you. God love you. He made you the way you are and love it.
Absolutely. Not, but nowadays, different than other times in history. Um, the curviness has been more embraced. You know, you see more women getting um, BBLs and enhancements and different things to their hips and their busts and their lips and all these different things. And I mean,
Mike, I really feel like to each his own. I believe some go overboard with it.
mhm.
But in the end, if it make them love themselves more, I get it. But the lashes out to here and the butt that you know you weren't born with looks.
But
I don't sign up for that, but I don't judge because I don't believe in judging people. I don't know their reasoning for.
but
Maybe
do
they
you
did a
feel?
major weight loss and they had to do what they had to do.
But
Maybe.
do you have mixed? Do you ever find yourself having mixed feelings because that has to improve your business? You know, to a certain extent. If women are more shapely and more full figured,
Well,
then I mean, do you ever feel conflicted? You
no,
know,
I
between the
don't. I
two.
don't. I mean, my customer is my customer, and and to be honest, more of my crowd right now is for 50 and over. A
Hmm.
lot of 50-year-olds are not going to get their butt done.
Right.
So that's not necessarily my customer, but I've had when I had my boutique, I had most of my clients were at least 28 and up.
Okay.
So that is some of them, but not as many of them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, but I like I said, I try not to judge Mike because to each his own. If that's what it takes for you to love you more, then do what you got to do.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. I mean, to be honest, I would love to have my arms done, but I just never did it. You know, there's after I finished nursing, I wanted to have my breasts lifted. I just never did it.
Hmm.
But I mean, just like some women get breast reductions for medical reasons, some people do it for medical reasons. Let's say they had to have their breast, they had breast cancer, so they decided to get implants. I get that. So that's what I'm saying. To each his own and for their own reasoning.
Okay.
Yes.
What has the reception been like since you started this business? I know you said that you had stopped the brick and mortar, and even to the point you have people coming to your home. How hard was it for you to develop consistent business, like loyal
It
customers?
transitioned. I had
How
faithful.
long did it take?
It didn't take long. I mean, I had continuous customers. And then I'm gonna be honest, I scaled back because I didn't want some people, to know where I lived at, this, that, and the other. So I'm gonna be
Understandable,
honest.
understandable.
I believe in people's spirit in your house. I'm just sorry. This is where I
Right,
lay my head. I gotta feel safe and comfortable.
right.
So no judgment, but yeah, this my home, not just a house. So but I just like still, I have some people that contact me and say, Tamiko, where you get that belt from? Tamiko, if they see me, because I've been doing now that I'm doing the YouTube, because I never done YouTube or anything like that. I always had Facebook and Instagram, but I've been stepping out. I even did TikTok now and things like that since my brick and mortar has closed. But And I'm trying to post exactly where I get the items from, this, that, and the other to help the people. But I
Hmm.
still have some customers saying, Tamiko, I have to go to this formal event. I need you to help me. I'm about to be in this wedding. This is the color. Send me some ideas. I still do that. And might not even get the sale. I just go and find the item for them, just
Hmm.
so I know their body type, I know what they like, and I just style them that way. So I didn't have really big issues when I transitioned to my home.
Who would you say at this point in your career, who is the greatest influence when it comes to that whole fashion, and particular, even more particularly, that genre of fashion that you've gone into, where you talk about, like I said, more full figure women, who are in their 50s, 40s, and 50s, and whatever. Like, who would you say is your greatest influence?
I'm gonna be honest, one of my biggest influence that I love, and she would die if she knew this, because she probably don't think that. But Cassandra of Curvaceous Boutique, I just love her. I love her demeanor. Um, she was when she opened her boutique, I was one of her first customers. And I still follow her to today, and I occasionally still buy from her today. I still have some of her outfits that I wear in my in fact, I posted a picture the other day. She said, I still have that dress in my boutique. I just love her. And she is an everyday person. She just not some reality person.
Hmm.
I actually have had contact with her, or can go in her warehouse to actually, see her from time to time when she has sales. But I would think that she would be my biggest influence and have been for some time. I respect her. And I told her, even we were both at an expo we did. She started the game for a lot of us in Virginia. Not
Okay.
just Virginia, but all over. I mean, she's been in all the top magazines and all that as a curvy woman boutique. And she still to today is slaying it and still helps people.
Wow.
Yes.
Um, when when you are how open do you have to be in this business? Because and I've had other fashion owners before on the podcast before, and I always ask them the same question, like, if I come to your store, am I going to be able to find a diverse group of different types of clothing, or am I going to see stuff that Tamiko would wear? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to
Oh,
ask?
I have carried things that I won't wear
Right, right,
because there's an audience for that. So in business, it's not all about just Tamiko and what
right.
Tamiko will wear. I just always try to help them style it and still be classy and respectful. That's what I say.
Awesome.
Yes. So no, my boutique is not just Tamiko. It's there are things there that Tamiko won't wear.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some of the traits, I guess, do you feel like you've had to develop, being not just a owner of a fashion brand, but just as a business owner, as a whole? Like, what type of traits do you find? It's kind of an extension of the question that I asked you earlier about, was there something that you feel like you've learned about yourself that you didn't know before? But do you feel like, some of the, like I said, some of the traits that you've had to develop dealing with a diverse group of customers, because everybody's needs are different, their shape different, their desires are different. They see themselves in different ways. Some people feel like they need to be modest, while others, they like, hey, I'm letting it all hang out,
Well,
figure
I've
literally
had
and
to learn.
figuratively, whatever.
I did have to really, really learn. It's like when I first opened my brick and mortar, you know, um, there were a couple of experiences that I was not ready for, such as a woman brought a return in and it smelled straight like her perfume. I mean, and I
Right,
was like, you can't return this. So I had to learn how to maneuver around situations like that, and still not have her go blast me on social media.
right,
And that's the thing is in business now, like when I owned my first business, there was no social media. So you were as concerned about somebody blasting you, this, that, and the other. So as the trends have changed, so has business owners had to change how they do things. That Google review can mean a lot. When people go find, when people go to look for you and they Googling you and they trying to go to your different social, I mean, just like my daughter, she's of a younger generation, and I sent her a braider's name, and she was like, if she don't have a social media account for me to look at some of her work, I'm not gonna book her.
Mm,
So as an older business owner, I have to remember and adapt to those new things. So those are things I've had to learn. I had to learn social media and how to communicate, how to post, how to even make a post, how to do editing, to make it look presentable. There's been a whole lot of different things besides just picking out some clothes to sell that goes
right.
along with owning a boutique.
I've seen watched some of your shorts, and which is one of the reasons, like I told you, that I reached out because I always find it interesting how people are able to create looks and different styles and different things like that. Um, from a mental health standpoint, like you talked earlier about how basically you were alluding to the fact that when people look good, they feel good.
I really believe that.
You know,
And that's how I live my life though. And I mean, I don't have to have on makeup, lashes, and all that every day. But when I walk out that door, I feel confident within myself. And that's what's most important for me. And I think that that's what a lot of women are lacking is that they don't feel confident. Even if I got on jogging pants or some leggings and a hoodie, I'm matching, my hat match. I'm gonna put my lip gloss on. I wear lip gloss every day regardless. So I do. I'm not gonna do no dry lips, no dry skin and all that.
right.
But just in that and not to have makeup on is it, for me. And that's what I tell women. That's what worked for me. And so you have to find what works for you. What's gonna make you feel like that? Because what works for Tamiko don't work for everybody. And just like I tell people, the first thing I do in the morning is before I even get out the bed, as soon as I come to my conscience, I'm thanking the Lord for waking me up, giving me good health and strength, and for sending me on my way. I'm going to do my daily bread. I'm going to read my scripture from my church calendar, and I'm going to do my Charles Stanley. Those three things I'm going to do before my day gets started. But that's what worked for Tamiko, so
Right.
that I can have my shield on when I go out into this crazy world we live in there.
Right.
But I need people to I told them, you have to find what worked for you. Because what worked for me, it may be for you to do it before you go to bed, for you
Right.
to have peaceful sleeping. But
Right.
that's what I want all women to know. We're all women and in this universe, but you have to find your place in the universe.
Mm, okay. That's deep.
Hmm.
That's deep. That's deep. So what I hear you saying is that, and throughout this interview, is that it's bigger for you. It's bigger than just the clothes that we're wearing.
Yes.
You're actually, um, this is an opportunity, in a sense, for you to promote um, a higher level of self worth
Yes.
with with
Because the
these women.
clothes mean nothing. This is just some fabric. What's
Right.
on the inside? What you got going on the inside? You what work. And I tell people all the time, I keep a counselor. I go to EAP all the time. Some people shun on it. No, I just want a neutral person. Sometimes I don't even need a reply. I just need to get it off my chest. Once it come out, you hear it, you know what it is, you know how to deal with it. That's how I raised my daughter. When you know a situation or you know a person, once they've shown you, you know how to deal and handle them or that situation. The same with ourselves. Once you've gotten it out and once you hear it, because sometimes just in your mind is not good enough. You got to get it out.
Right.
Once you get it out, you can keep moving. Let Okay, how you'll cry about it. All right, that's done. Let's keep it moving. It's time to move on. And I need some women not to stay in the bad place because you didn't put on 5, 10 pounds. Okay, we did it.
Right.
We know what we done. Now what can we do to correct it so we can get to moving on? Because life not gonna stop. Just like a job. They let you go, they're gonna put somebody else in that position, probably before you can get out the door.
Right. Right. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yes.
So how for so you personally, what was the journey like for you? Like, how long did it take for you to get to this place where you are comfortable in your own skin and you feel, you know what I mean? You
Mm.
feel worthy and valuable when you walk out the door, or is this a
I was
continuous
gonna say I've
thing?
always had confidence, but I'm gonna be honest, Mike. I haven't always been one like this. Is my very first ever podcast. Now I do lives, but to actually do a podcast for somebody else, this is my first one. So this part is becoming new to me, and I'm gonna be honest. It probably wasn't until I got divorced that I loved me even more because I went through some hardships afterwards because it
Hmm.
wasn't just my divorce, it was other things going, challenges I had to overcome in life. And
Right.
once I got through counseling and got through that part of my life, I was like, oh, it's all game now. I can play ball. And since
Right.
then, I just been playing ball. And it wasn't long after that is when I opened my boutique. And that's what I'm saying. I just keep rolling. I had to close the boutique down because I couldn't afford the rent or whatever. It didn't stop what I feel like this is my calling in a sense. Because I had women even come in church. She was like, where you get that dress from? I like all your dresses. I mean, even in church. And I'm like,
Right.
I have no problem sharing it. I have no problem encouraging another woman because I'm like, I bought it and wearing it. You can buy it and you can wear it. We may not can wear it the same way, and that's what I always had to, tell my women when they come to the boutique because I'm a big person on a good shapewear. Some of us really need it, and I wear one almost every day. And it's people like, you don't need it. Yeah, for me to, this what I do for Tamiko. And that's what I tell people. What work for me may not work for you. You may be comfortable in not doing it. I'm just not.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This is this is a question that I usually ask music artists when they come on to the platform. Um, the presentation is a lot different, particularly, you mentioned the church. The presentation is a lot different than it was, back in the day.
Yes.
Um, there was a lot more coverage. There was a lot more, uh, I guess, modest apparel, if
Long
you
skirts and a slip.
right that
I
that
hated
whole
a
thing.
slip. I
But now
couldn't
you
stand.
right, right. So you fast forward to now, women are more um, comfortable wearing things that are form fitting and these different things. And sometimes, particularly with women of color, sometimes it's just stuff that you just can't help. You know what I mean? You are made how you're made.
Yep.
And while you're while you're doing your version of the best that you can, there are people on the outside looking in who may judge and look and say, hey, oh, she's trying to show off this, or she's trying to accentuate that. What is she trying to do? Is she trying to get a man, or is she, trying to take my man, or is she, whatever like that. Um, are you ever, being a woman that's curvy and all that, are you ever self-conscious? Have you mastered the art of Tamiko of Tamiko's, you know, fashion sense or style or whatever um, you want to call it, and as it pertains to how other people may see or judge. Does that ever cross your mind?
Not
Well,
often. Not
okay.
often. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I'm going to address that two different ways. No, I really, because I carry myself the way Tamiko wants to be presented,
Hmm.
period. Because I was raised, so my mama would say, when you go outside that door, you represent me. So there's
Right.
certain things, I realized. But on the other side of that, when I went to Jamaica last year, what I wore in Jamaica, I'm not gonna wear here in Hampton. Cause I'm gonna wear a two-piece out on the beach,
Right.
maybe without a cover up. If I wore it here, I probably wear a cover up because I see these people every day. But there, I didn't care because I probably won't ever see those people again. So I mean, it has this yes in his nose, but I just feel like whatever I want to put on, I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna always try to make it look presentable. So no, and if this person don't, I mean, I have people even come to my post and say, I had somebody last week talking about she too big to be wearing that dress. And because it
Mhm.
was my business page, she didn't realize I was the person that was gonna reply to her. I
Wow.
said, no. I said, that's your opinion, and this my page, and this my outfit. So you can back off. And she's like, I'm entitled to my opinion. I said, yes, but not on my page.
Right.
So I'm gonna respect your boundaries. I need you to respect mine. I didn't ask you to come. I said only positivity over here. I'm not doing the negative with you. So I mean, I have it that way too. That a lot of people say that you too big for this or you too this for that, and I'm like, long as I feel comfortable in it, I don't care what you think.
Right. That's
Don't.
amazing. That's amazing. You know, like we were saying earlier, you look at. I guess maybe I was looking at things a little short sighted because I'm thinking fashion, 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 clothes, clothes, clothes. But then now I realize, speaking to you, that it's there's a deeper meaning. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's why people like you are important to, you know, certain communities. Um, do you feel what do you feel responsible? Like, what does it feel like to curate, be able to curate um, a space where women have a place to go where
I do.
they feel
I do.
seen, they feel catered to, they
I
feel
do.
served.
I do. I
What
feel like that's my passion. That's one. Fashion is my passion, but I feel encouraging plus size and curvy women is my mission. That is what God created me this way for a reason.
Mhm,
Cause it's just too many people that come to me. I've had like when I did my second or third short ever on YouTube, and one of
mhm,
my girlfriends that her and I talked, she called me. She said, "Tamiko, I never knew American Eagle carried jeans in our
mm.
size." That day, she went and bought her three American, and she was so hyped. That's my calling. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm gonna take it a step further because that's one of the things that I'm trying to put out. Dating over 50 and curvy is not easy. I had it out
Really?
with a gentleman just today on TikTok because I had a video, a short up of me in a green romper and my thighs was out. And he gonna send
Okay.
me a message about my thighs. He said, it's a compliment. I said, no, that's not a compliment. And he was like, and my thing is, at your age, you should know that was not respectful. He told me, I
Right.
like your fluffy thighs. Really?
Wow. Wow.
And I've never met him. I've only seen him on TikTok, and he's coming to a couple of my lives. So for you to think that was okay to say, I just stopped. I don't have nothing else to. And that's what I told him. I said it's not respectable, and if that's the type of conversation you want to have, I'm not having it. And I would not lie to you. I've only been on the TikTok thing now, going live and all that for not even 2 months, maybe. And I have 154 or more. I looked at it today and thought it was crazy. I have over 150 some people in my inbox up there. It's crazy. Why they think that that's okay, I don't know. Why they think somebody gonna reply to it, I don't know. But I'm not. I'm not interested in it. I'm up there for women, for encouragement, and for fashion. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That, that is amazing. Let's shift gears. Okay, so not in addition to being a business owner, you're also like a somewhat of a community advocate. You make sure you help citizens register to vote.
Mhm.
What? How did that come about? And you know why? Why?
Okay. One, because I was one of them at one time and I needed somebody to help me. And I knew what that felt like and what it was like. So I felt that's something that I should do as well. Just like he gave me these curves, he gave me that situation that I had to get through and I had to do it. So I felt the need to go and help. And I know how hard it could be. I was blessed in my situation, and some people aren't. So if I can help you, I will. As well as I think so many of our younger people just don't understand how important it is to vote, and I push for them to go. And my son-in-law be hot with me sometimes because his
Right.
boys be there. I come in the house. I say, if you're not registered to vote, or I need you to sign this petition to make sure this person can get on the ballot to vote. I go through the whole house. It was his birthday party. I went through the whole house with all the young men. I said, sign, 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 and I need you to vote on this day, this day, this day.
Right.
And he like,
Right.
Mom Dukes, why is it look? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. Because if I don't tell you, who else gonna tell y'all? But I
Right.
just
That's
feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. My daughter gonna be hot with me. I don't care. I'm like, you see the situation we in when some of y'all didn't go vote, right?
right. And
Exactly.
you know what? This past presidential election, I volunteered at my local voting station, and I
Hmm.
was so surprised how many people um, didn't see the value in voting. I talked to one young man who told me that he works in an office of 10 people, and when he said he was coming out to vote, they laughed. Everybody in the office laughed. So he was the only one in his office that found value
One out of
um,
10.
in voting.
You-
One out of
And
10.
but and the thing is, I need people to be active, not just during election time. Like there's a primary going on right now
Right?
that I try to help
Absolutely.
some people. Because of my real job, I can't do certain things, but when I
Mhm.
can do certain things, I will do, and I'm going to show up certain places because on my time, I can do certain things. But it's a primary going on right now, and it could mean a lot if some people win. And people don't understand. I mean, they get ready to wipe out Medicaid. Some of these daycare places aren't going to get their funding again. Kids are
Right.
not going to be able to have somewhere to eat at this summer because they're cutting out the funding to feed the kids. I mean, so much is going to hit their own toes, and you didn't even take your toes to walk to the poll to vote. See, I have a problem with that, and I'm gonna be honest, Mike. My daughter tell you, I'm if you tell me you don't vote and you can't break bread with me. I literally have put somebody out my house. My niece boyfriend.
Really?
Oh yeah. You told me you ain't vote and you had the right and you chose not to. No, you can't break bread here. Mm-mm. I'm because it changed. That's what I told him. Your decision affects my life. All
Right.
this going on, the tariffs and all that, is for people that didn't go vote. So when my gas price go up and my egg price go up,
Yeah.
I have nothing for you.
Right.
My pastor called them
Wow.
trifling. And they are. You trifling if you don't go vote. And
Right.
they have early voter for you right now. So you only have to wait till you just one day just walk in there. You can walk right in the door. Not even have to stand in line.
Right.
What's your excuse?
Right. You know, when like I said, when I volunteered, I voted before I started my time. And there was a young lady in there, and she was like, "Do you know any of these people that are on the ballot?" And I've had a few of the people that were on there. I had a few of them on the podcast before, so I was familiar
Familiar.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of them, I let her know, I know this person, I know that person, or whatever, right? So when it came time for me to vote, this young lady comes right up next to me in the booth next to me, and she's like, "Who are you voting for this? Who are you voting for that?
They don't
Who are
have
you
a
gonna?"
clue.
Right. So everybody that I voted for,
She voted
she
for.
voted for, and I don't. To this day, I couldn't tell you her name or anything, but she voted for everybody that I voted for.
But
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I do
saying?
for my elderly in my family.
Hmm.
I get a copy of the sample ballot and I
Yeah.
tell them, this is your person, and I send a text out and I
Hmm.
tell them this is who is supporting. And when I get my campaign signs and all that stuff, I go by their yards, I put the signs out. I
Wow.
I, I do. I mean, I've even had it to where my granddaughter and one of her little friends sometimes at the practice, cheer practice or whatever, I said, y'all help me put out signs. I take you get a treat. And we just take a Sunday at the church. We go ride and we put out campaign signs for the people I support. I'm gonna do my part. Cause when I lay down to rest, I'm gonna say, God, I did what you called me to do. And I
Right.
believe that's one of my callings is to I've helped a few politicians.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
So,
So I stay busy. I stay very busy.
so overall, um, what is the ultimate goal for you? Um, if you could have it your way tomorrow, what would your business be at its peak? Like at its highest peak?
I I really, really, really okay. There's two things I want to do. Okay. I want to retire from my regular job and I want to just be not just a content influencer, but I want to be like a coach mentor. Because one mean one thing and I understand the other one mean another. But I want to be the person to host different forums or events and have people come out and explain to them one about content creating, but also the empowerment, encouragement part. I would really like to do. So that would be my peak for me to be viral enough wherein I would get enough people to show up to have a real showdown event.
Mm.
I've done fashion shows and all that. So I know what that part is like. And I might would even get some boutiques to come in and do a fashion show part. But it's the encouragement. It's about the making the women feel good before they even put the clothes on. That's more important to me right now.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what would you say is the most common misconception that people have about you?
I think some people think that how do I put it? That I'm always hyped like or whatever, and I'm not an outward person. I show up to events and I do them. One part of sometimes they're my job. Two, I do enjoy them, and sometimes I'm like supporting like my little cousins. I make sure I go when they getting recognized. I make sure, but that's not always what I want to do. Some people think I want to be in the spotlight, but I don't. I do a lot of things in the back seat, and I prefer to really be in the back seat. And I don't think everybody thinks that about me. I don't need the recognition for it. Long as I know I've done what God called me to do, I'm good. And like I tell my daughter, when it's well in my soul, it's over. I'm done with it. When it's well in my soul and I feel like I've done what God called me to do, I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hmm.
So, when you look at everything that you do and everything that you've accomplished and everything that you've been able to overcome
Mm.
and become victorious over, is it ever a challenge for you, particularly when it comes to, you know, having relationships with others, not just romantic relationships. I'm talking about regular friendships and stuff like that. Is it hard for you to
Yes.
not be the boss, even in your
Oh, I
friendship?
don't mind not being a boss. I don't, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's a misconception to me. I don't have to be the boss. I'd rather just be the regular person. And I tell, because some people be like, "You a superstar now." I'm like, I'm the furthest thing from a superstar to me. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm just an everyday person, and I am okay with that. I don't need any accolades or none of that. I am, and a lot of people may not really. I spend a lot of time alone. Besides with my daughter and my granddaughter now,
Mhm.
I'm home alone. I don't. I do the out things when I have to go do them. Outside of that, I spend a lot of time alone. So no, I don't. Mm-mm. So my relationships are very limited. I would say now.
Mhm.
One, with friendships, like even with girlfriends or whatever, my circle is very small. I don't allow a lot of people within my circle, but that's my own personal reasons, you
Right.
know. But some things I have to keep private, but outside of that, and God knows, like I said, dating is, oh God, Jesus, take the wheel. I don't understand it. How a 60-some-year-old man think that that comment is okay. I just don't understand. I just don't get it.
It's
But
hard.
yeah.
I believe that it's a culture thing. You know what I mean? I think that nowadays culture tells us, oh yeah, uh, show off your quote unquote thickness, show off, da 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 da. And so you start to assume that everybody, thinks that way. And so you might say, and maybe in the past this worked for other people, other women. You know what I mean?
And it probably have. And that's the sad part about it. Is that some women have accepted it and that's why they do it. But and that's what I told her. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not even going to start that conversation with you. It's not about to happen. And my thing is, and that's what I guess his rebuttal kind of like was, well, you put the video out there, but I put the video out there to show confidence to a woman, to show that we can wear a certain thing. There was nothing explicit about it. And the
Right,
context wherein you sent this message, it's not cool, dude, period.
right, right,
It's just not. It's just, and for me to even have to have that discussion with you, it's sad.
right, right.
That's sad. So that's why, and that's what because he asked in one of the lives I was on, why was I single? And I told him, this is exactly why I am single. Because
Yeah,
I'm not
understood.
dealing with it. I will
Understood.
be in here alone. I'm good. I can go eat, get me something to eat, come in my home. I am good. I don't need you to
Understood.
feed me. I don't need none of that. I'm good. Because that's he keep wanting to feed me. Guess because I'm a thick girl. I'm good. Because
Okay.
that's the first thing he
Understood.
want to do is feed me. Okay, I'm
Understood.
good with eating.
Understood. Understood.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Well, I want to tell you that I truly respect your movement. And, like I said earlier, um, I really kind of came about this with kind of short sighted. You know what I mean? And the more that I talk with you and the more that I hear, your perspectives, I realize that maybe I was a bit narrow minded in how I went about this whole interview. And I realize now that it's, a lot deeper than just, like you said, fabric and clothing. It's actually
Mhm.
about state of mind, and people,
Yes.
people feeling good about themselves, particularly when they get to a certain age, or particularly when they, a certain body type, or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, that does something,
It
to your
really
psyche.
does.
It's,
Because, and what a lot of people, because I haven't gotten to this on my platform yet, but I'm trying to figure out in my mind how I'm going to work
mhm.
into it. It's like menopause is real.
Wow.
The hot flashes, the memory, that there's just different things, the mood swings, you know, it mentally, it's a lot. And a
Hmm.
lot people don't know that it could be the menopause and not just necessarily you as a person.
Wow.
And people have to figure that out. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna add that to my platform because menopause is real. I mean, I have asked my therapist, okay, am I tripping or is this may just be part of and she said, no, it could be just part of your menopause. Because the thing is, and it could last for so many years, Mike. I've
Hmm.
been I was premenopausal at what, 49, 50. I'm 54 now. And
Okay.
I'm just now in the middle of my menopause. So now hopefully I'm on my way out and by 60 out. So just think that's almost 10 years of my life that was affected by menopause. And so much of our bodies change in that time too. And some women can't adjust to that and they already dealing with being plus size.
Mm.
So it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. But I'm blessed because one, I'm single, so I didn't have to deal with having a man and all those issues to go with it because there's part of the menopause that's going to affect your life with them.
Right.
And some people have to learn how to just do that. And that's what I'm saying. I would love to be able to have a formal events wherein women can come together and have those discussions and know when they leave that you're not alone and it's okay and it's going to be okay. Because some people don't have that.
Awesome. Awesome. And I love, you know, your emphasis on mental health, like the fact that you have a therapist. Like, what made you get a therapist?
Because I thought I was losing it.
Mm,
I really did. I so much had happened to me and I hadn't dealt with. And
mhm,
then once I had my first visit, I knew how much I really needed it. Because it come to find out I hadn't dealt with things that happened to me in my childhood.
mhm.
You know, things that were not to be discussed or never got discussed. Let me say it like that. Those things I had never dealt with. But I knew my mental got better every time I would go and let it go. Every time I would have a visit and just sit there and just get it out, have the cry or whatever. And my therapist would tell me she used to tell me all the time. She said, "Now I need you to go get some tissues, wipe the tears, and then you got to go out there and do this. You can't let it affect it. You dealt with it here. You've released it, and that's sometimes what I say, like the universe. You have to release it out into the universe, but you have to speak positively and have a remedy to say how I'm going to deal with this going forward. And
Mhm.
that's what therapy did for me. It showed me a way to let it go, let it out. Okay, it happened, but now you need to go out and you need to work these certain things to make life better.
Well, did you go through a period of denial before you actually decided to get therapy, or did you just kind of embrace it right off the bat?
Once my supervisor at my job I had started
Hmm.
told me that it was available to me, I pondered on it for a little while before I actually made the first appointment.
Hmm.
And then once I made the first appointment, I've been going for 14 years now.
Wow, 14
Yeah.
years. Wow. Okay.
14. I mean, and um I don't need it all the time. I make appointments once a month sometimes, or sometimes I'll go a few months and not have an appointment. But as soon as I feel myself getting to a certain point or I can't sleep, that's part of menopause too.
Mhm.
But when I can't sleep and something is pondering in my head, I know it's time for me to go seek some help with it.
Wow, that is super interesting. That is
Yeah.
super. Do you feel like that helps you in business? Like being able
Yes.
to go to therapy, like how does that help you in your business deal?
It helps with some of the unknowns that I didn't know I was gonna have to deal with, and it's sad to say, but it's a true thing. I didn't realize I would have to deal with hygiene with some women. There were certain things I wasn't prepared for to deal with in business.
Hmm.
And I had to get somebody to say, it's part of the business. You got to find a technique and a way to maneuver around it without offending people.
Hmm.
And, keep it moving, basically. And I'm going to be honest, therapy has also helped me with business as far as everybody's not always nice, other business people,
Right. Right.
because everybody is not welcoming to networking and all that. Some
Yeah.
people are going to plot against you, and I had a couple that,
Mm,
that would deliberately like send people into my store to see what I was carrying, and then they go buy it and put it in their store for cheap.
mm,
Yeah, so
wow.
and mentally, and that's what I'm saying. But we were supposed to be supporting each other
Wow.
mentally. That I won't. I never thought that my stuff would be that special. you know, I was like, they had the same vendors I have. Why you got to have exactly what? I mean, to the point where they see me at an affair and they would go buy the exact same outfit and wear it the exact same way the next time, and I'm like, that's real weird to me because
Wow.
I always want to be different. That's one thing about me.
Hmm.
I want to be different, and I think that's what gives me confidence is that I don't want to be like nobody else. I want to be Tamiko.
Wow. I would definitely respect that. Definitely respect that. I only have one more question for you. You know, it's a question that I ask all my guests,
Okay.
and I just want you to think about it and give me the most honest and transparent answer that you can give me. And
Okay.
I'm sure we won't have any issue with that. But here's the question: what would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for you specifically?
What would have to happen in my life?
Hmm. If it hasn't happened already.
Mm, I think it's already happened for me. I think my situation I had to go through just makes me thankful every day to be free, to have my own house, my own space, a decent job, food in my kitchen, my lights on, my water, hot water.
Mm.
It's, I mean, some people may, think that's not, but once you've been through some things, I can appreciate that every day, every day. And that's the thing, even with my divorce, I had a big old house at one time, and I lived in a small house. Not the house I live in now is not even half what the other house was. But
Mm.
I'm at peace. I got joy, and I'm good.
And that's
That
that's all that matters. That's what
you can
counts.
have the big old house, because it was not peaceful.
Right. That's
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think it happened to make me learn how to appreciate and to know to look to God for all things, and that He's always going to make a way for me for all things. Even when they come down to my daughter upset about something one day, or my granddaughter had a bad day, you got to take it to God.
right.
So yeah, I think that was the turning time for me to know that He answers all prayers, and He is all in His hands, and on His time and not mine.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, I feel like we've just scratched the surface of everything, but I want to be respectful of your time. I want to thank you for coming on the platform
I
and
thank you.
just kind of being very transparent and honest and authentic in your answering and everything. I truly appreciate that. Um, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you to maybe find out how they can look at your clothes or get you to host something, I don't know. They just want to reach out to you. How do they reach out to you?
I'm on all platforms. I take that. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and it's Mika Bells, MIKOBELLES, Life and Style. And all of them, they have a DM where they can message me. I
Awesome.
have people do it all the time for certain outfits because I still do model some of the outfits that I have for Ava J's, and people be interested. So yes, and I thank you for this opportunity. It was my
Abs-
first pack podcast.
Absolutely.
Um, I am always, oh, I try my best to be authentic, unapologetically me all the time. Some people don't care for it, but it is what it is. That's why I tell you, don't ask me the question if you don't want the honest answer.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you the honest answer. But
Okay.
yes, but I thank you. You have a blessed day. And my Mika Bells, I tell you all always love yourself first.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
you again so much. I wish you much blessings on everything that you're doing and even the things that you haven't even thought of yet. I wish you blessings on that as well.
Thank you,
Um,
Mike.
I thank you again for coming on, and I offer an open invitation to come back
I
whenever
sure
you want to
will.
promote something or talk about something. Just let us know, and we definitely can make it happen.
I thank you, Mike. You have a blessed day.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
There you have it, guys. Another amazing interview with another amazing guest. Shout out to Miss Tamiko Alston. Please check out her store. Please check out her movement. She's on all social media sites. Check her out. Support, invest, buy all that. Because you're not just buying an outfit. you're supporting a movement. You are supporting a state of mind, a positive uh, feeling of self worth, and that's amazing. That's dope. And the more examples of that we have, the better place we'll be in. Um, this platform is meant for people, like Miss Tamiko, who may or may not have, that big machine behind them pushing, pushing their agenda, pushing their movement, but to give them the opportunity to say, hey, I'm here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Hey, check me out. I have value. I have something of value, something that you can actually subscribe to, something that you can actually use. Um, and I totally respect that. I respect anybody who has the courage to step out on faith and do their thing. You know what I mean? Do their thing. And one thing I've come to notice is that if you do something confidently, if you step out on faith confidently, people will support. People will reach out if they see that you're serious. Because everybody on every corner is trying to do XYZ, but there are only a few that really do the groundwork, that really do what it takes to truly put their best foot forward. Um, and those are the ones that usually rise to the top. And so clearly, Miss Tamiko is one of those people that truly takes what she does very seriously, because again, it's deeper than just a few outfits here and there. It's about a state of mind. So, with that being said, as always, man, I encourage you guys to step out on faith. If there's something, a vision that you feel that is God given, if there's something that keeps you up at night, if there's something that you can see so almost that you can so good, so clear that you can touch it, I implore you to step out and do that thing. Invest in that thing. If it's a book, if it's a song, if it's clothing, if it's a clothing line, if it's, excuse me, if it's a degree, if it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you're being led to do it, then do it. Because at the end of the day, we all have a remnant of folks that are divinely attached to us. And they are waiting on us to make certain moves and decisions. And the longer it takes for us to make these decisions determines how long they they take to reach their destiny and the people that are attached to them and so on and so forth. So when you think about it like that, it's really a bigger situation than just the thing that's right there in front of you. Like I heard somebody say, the thing isn't always the thing. You know what I'm saying? It goes a little deeper. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank y'all again for coming on. I thank the people in advance that will watch the playback. Um, check us out. I think that we will be. I think we might have one more episode next week, and then we're just going to shut it down for the summer. We may do a few spot events or whatever, but probably going to shut it down for the summer, and then come back fresh and new uh, at the end of the summer. To going into school and stuff like that. So check us out. You keep an eye out for us. Keep a lookout for the He Said She Said podcast. That's going to be coming to you soon. Too. Shout out to Cooley D and Jimmy Buntley and Kim K. Um, yeah, look out for that and a lot of other stuff too. I'm working on my music now again. I'm pretty close to being done with the EP. So hopefully you guys will get to hear some of that real soon too. So we're not just chilling in the summertime. We working. We outside. We working. So check us out. All right. So with that being said, let's take a walk.